husband's on call this week, so he had to go to the data center, so I didn't have any support at bedtime. Or, like, if my daughter comes up, I'll have to pause this. And even though the title seems like a whole lot of stuff, I actually believe I'm going to be able to get through this, like, in a relatively short amount of time, and I actually have a real clock right there that'll tell me what time it is. So, earlier today, I was posting about drowning in your emotions or riding the wave of them. And really coming back to the core of understanding that our emotions are really the energy in motion from the mental plane to the physical plane. And depending on what frequency, what vibration you are resonating at in the mental plane will dictate the reality that you are experiencing on the physical plane. This is why it's so important to have a daily discipline that holds the resonance of 12D. This is why the Bespoke Dragon Invocations are so fucking powerful, is because you receive the recording and you receive a protocol straight from your higher self as to how often to listen to this frequency that in its coding of how it's been built, how it's been created, how it is received, reanimates all 13 chakras to a 10 out of 10 in bliss, love, success, wealth, in all areas. This is a whole life alignment, whole energy alignment, whole field alignment, merging all your timelines, highest potential timeline. So it instantly closes and heals and clears any timelines that are not in alignment. It instantly clears the karma from past lives or future lives that aren't ones that need to be consciously processed. And when there's something that needs to be consciously processed, then we invite that to come in. If there is a lesson that your soul needs you to consciously process in this lifetime as a way for your healing, so many of you who are remembering that you're oracular priestesses, remembering that you are shamans, remembering that you are high orders of angelic beings living a human experience, that's something that you need to consciously, or better termed super consciously, understand. But having to consciously process the hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of lifetimes you've experienced on earth, and all of the lower vibration ones. So many people get these Akashic record readings, and then they have this story as to all this horrible shit that happened in a past life, because now they're consciously aware of it. So it's just like other times where I've told you guys that when you know what your trauma is as a child, it ends up being your excuse and your story, and that's the reason why you are the way you are, instead of realizing that you can know that that's what happened and then still choose to be a different way. So that's what it means to be a master of your emotions, to be a master of psychic alchemy or psychological alchemy, right? The alchemy of the psyche, of changing the story, of changing the rhetoric, changing the aesthetic of your life. Being able to feel is the whole point of being human. The whole point of being human is be able to feel, to have those five senses and our intuition guiding us back to source, to be able to have pleasure and to have pain. Because really, we experience sensations that occur either in the form of like a physical like burning or whatever, like a physical external source that causes physical pain, or a thought that then causes physical pain through the biofeedback system of our human body and our chemical makeup and our electromagnetic makeup. That's all we are. We are electromagnets that create chemicals and hormones, and that's what we call reality. So if you are someone who on a regular basis is choosing to think thoughts that are wrapping you up in lower in cortisol and the stress hormones and the, I don't even know the names of the sad hormones anymore because I'm always trying to get away from them, right? Then you're going to live a life like that, right? You're thinking, oh, I'm overweight. Oh, I don't look in the mirror. Oh, my kids are crazy. Blah blah. Whatever it is that you think, like that's your story. No, this is just how it is. Like you don't know who I am, Karen. You don't understand my story. Trust and believe me, baby. I have heard every single excuse in the fucking book, mostly because I wrote the damn book on excuses. Anything that doesn't turn you on, anything that makes you feel heavy, anything that makes you feel like you're drowning, anything at all, from extreme rage to extreme sadness to extreme greed or grief or any of those things, there is no reason to judge that they happen, and that is the trap. I'm not saying to go through your life never experiencing extreme grief, because that wouldn't be the point either. The point is to not let your grief take you down, right? Can you feel through the grief? Can you feel every single tiny bit of that energy in motion as you are experiencing either an external play, which is still you? You're still creating your play. You are relative to your own experience. Time is relative. So quantum time is relative. Einstein time. That whole time flies when you're having fun idea. The moment you think a thought, it exists in the quantum realm. So the moment you decide that you are healed from the grief, it can be done. Collapse in all space, all time, coming back to the highest dimension. But we don't want to experience being human as just like, oh, I'm healed, oh, I'm healed, oh, I'm healed. We need to experience the trauma so that we have the yin and yang effect. But we get trapped in the suffering. We get trapped in the pain. The rhetoric of society tells us that life's a bitch and then you die, We are told that it's going to be hard, that it's going to be painful, that your kids are going to be assholes and your husband's going to be a dick and you're never going to feel sexy and you're never going to feel like you belong and you're never going to fit anywhere and you're always going to feel out of place and weird and magic isn't real and there's nothing that you can do to change the world, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, you'll never be happy, and it doesn't matter if you have all these things because you can never brag about it, because if you brag about it or tell anyone, then you're going to hurt other people because they don't know how to deal with it, and therefore you have to hide in your blessings. We are told having bliss is a bad thing. Having pleasure is bad in our society. But so is having grief, right? You're not even supposed to feel sad. Like, get over it. Get over it. Oh, it's been 2 weeks since your sister died. Better get over it. Just deal with it. She's not coming back. Oh, it's been 3 years since your wife died. Oh, well, get over it. It's not like, oh, you found out your fiance cheated on you. Oh, get over it. Like, you're not supposed to feel sad. You're not supposed to feel angry. You're not supposed to feel these things. And that's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you get to choose how you experience those emotions. Do you allow the grief to suck you under to the point where you have now attached your mortality to this emotion? Are you allowing yourself to feel the anger in its exquisite hotness, in its, like, how does anger feel? It feels hot. It feels vibrant. It feels like spicy. I can get off on being angry. And it actually moves through me faster when I allow myself to fully feel the emotion, because I'm not ever stopping myself by shaming myself or putting up any societal blocks that tell me that being angry is bad. Because I've mastered the conversation in my own head that tells me, no, I can feel extreme grief. I can allow the thoughts of missing my friend so badly and just wanting to be able to call her on the phone or send her a voice message and hear her in my ear saying something here in the real world, in the physical plane. And it's okay that I feel that sad, but because I've allowed myself to grieve and fully grieve and not feel judged for grieving, I don't feel that sadness anymore. I don't even have an urge to grieve. I don't have an urge to cry, because I've actually allowed the emotion and the biochemicals to run through my system. An emotion only actually lasts 90 seconds, but we cling to them. We either cling to them by trying to shut them up and shove them down, which stops them, and then they form blocks of trauma, or we get swept up in them and they not even swept up, drowned down and dragged down, and all of our energy gets sucked out, and you're just on the floor sobbing uncontrollably and so sad, but there's still the thought process is just feeding itself, right? You're not allowing yourself to just feel grief about the one thing. It triggers all these other things that you probably had originally shut down. When you go through that spiral, it's almost always things that previously, you know what I mean? It's just that one extra thing. It's the straw that broke the camel's back. What is that saying mean? It means there were all these other pieces of straw on the fucking camel's back, and then finally one tiny itty bitty little piece of straw gets put down and it breaks the back. That's the same thing when you finally allow the floodgates to open and it just pours out. It's because you thought you did. You thought you were going through the motions. You thought you did, but you weren't. There's questions. Experience the feeling, but don't unpack it. Yeah. You don't need to unpack your feelings. You don't need to judge your feelings or know why you're feeling that way. If you're mad at your kids, you don't need to dissect why you're mad. You can just feel mad and actually be you know what? I'm glad that I'm healthily processing my anger instead of holding it back and waiting until some inopportune moment that isn't actually a legitimate reason for me to be angry, and then blow up and turn into crazy psycho mom for the next 30 minutes, and then the whole rest of the day is just shot to hell, because then you realize that you overreacted. What does it mean to overreact? That means that we have decided there's an appropriate reaction to things, and that's still relative. So when you receive a Bespoke Dragon Invocation, what it does is allows for any of those old things that you've been holding on to in your energy field to just fall away without you having to consciously worry about it or think about it. You're able to center yourself back into the higher frequencies where you're not experiencing constant panic attacks and constant stressors and constant sad thoughts and all the energy pulling you down. Instead, your emotions actually send you upwards. You have an angry thought and you're oh, this is awesome. I am going to feel angry. I'm going to allow myself to be pissed off. and you do it in a holy, in a way that wholly feeds your spirit. Okay, if I'm going to be angry, I'm going to be angry. But how can I do that again in a way that discharges it or focuses it, right? I always now take any anger and be like, okay, I'm a manifesting generator, and so my like issue is frustration. I will take all my frustration and I will blow it at whatever my biggest block currently is, or whatever the thing is that I want to manifest, right? I am so angry right now. Like yesterday it was the face masks. And I ended up blowing all of my anger at the face masks at the road towards the White House. So if I realize that what I'm angry about is people not knowing their civil rights and not realizing how 1984 all of this is turning into, then it's pointless for me to just sit there and bitch. It's pointless for me to try to just be a keyboard warrior. What is useful is me taking all of that hot, steamy, fiery frustration and anger and focusing it at something. Feeling it, allowing myself to really get hot and sweaty and like really fucking mad, but then blow it at something instead of turning it into a self-deprecating conversation or a judging thing of like, oh, I'm such a bad person, I shouldn't be mad. Or just like vehemently being angry at the system, but not doing anything about it. Not like, you can take an action in the energetic realm. Like the thought is an action. Okay, thoughts are things, but thoughts are energy in motion. They're motion. They're moving through you from the mental plane to the physical one. So you take the action. I am healed right now on all planes and all dimensions to my highest potential right now. It's that fast. And it doesn't feel like it can be when you're getting a chakra healing here and there. When you allow yourself, oh, I'm going to go get a massage. It's like those people that get a massage like once or twice a year. I'm literally like, what's the fucking point? Why did you even get a massage? It did a little something. Like, okay, good. Like, better get a massage once or twice a year than never, ever, ever. But when do you really get the benefits from massage therapy? When you're going every week. When you're going every other week, when you're going every month. It's the same thing with a Bespoke Dragon invocation. These invocations, the best way for me to describe like the difference between getting one of these and then being in a package, like in a coaching one-on-one session with me, like through 6 months through my Energetic Olympians coaching program, is that Bespoke Dragon invocations are like the maintenance program, and Energetic Olympians, if you're ready for that, is the mastery of it, where you get to learn how to then give the maintenance to other people. So let's see. Yes, generator. I know the thing. Frustration. Yes, for sure. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to say? No, not really. So I really wanted you guys, I just wanted to like come on for a minute and really, or 20 minutes, however fucking long, time is relative. It feels like it's been 5 minutes. I'm sure it's been longer than that. And just explain why having a grooming, it's like doing your hair. It's literally like every morning when you wake up and you wash your face and you brush your teeth and you comb your hair out, you go to the bathroom. I do all those things, and then the very next thing I do, or sometimes I'll do this first, like I usually always pee first thing in the morning, but I would then stand in front of my altar for 5 to 10 minutes connecting into my dragon gateway. Other people call it their destiny vortex. Other people call it connecting to their higher self into Gaia. Other people would call it deep, intense meditation. I call it standing in the dragon's gateway. The gateway between the infinite source of all things that could be and are, and the physical plane of reality, and I feel that 12th dimensional light grid that is available to us under my feet. I suction cup to it. I send my energy out to anyone who is meditating, anyone who is praying, anyone who needs healing, anyone at all. And I send my gift through the service of grace through that. And I receive back any information that I need to continue on with my mission. And then anytime throughout the day, and while I'm doing that, I'm singing and I'm channeling. So I will sit there and I'm activating and using the spiritual technologies that are in my body. I talk about this all the time. I have the golden dragon armor given to me by Joan of Arc. The sword of truth given to me by Archangel Michael. The cosmic diamond light given to me by Archangel Gabriel. The blue Pleiadian throat chakra given to me by the blue dragons of the Pleiades. The blue flame of Jesus. There are so many pieces of spiritual technology running in my energy field that I have accepted as a new form of my software instead of subscribing to the same software of my parents or of my grandparents or even of my past lives. I am living this life right now, and I am living it at the highest potential always, in all ways. So when you receive a Bespoke Dragon invocation, it's like you get me in your house every morning helping you go through this process. Because after you receive the session, you're also given this protocol. And it can be anywhere from, I think the shortest amount was like 5 days. And then the longest one I've given was 60. It's all brought to me by the dragons in real time when you're getting the invocation. I write down your dragon name, so the name of your soul, your higher self, when you were a dragon. I write down the amount of time you're supposed to listen to the invocation. The invocation itself can last anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes because there's often like a mini meditation at the beginning. And then the beginning part is you receiving dragon oracle cards, like a reading, like any other tarot reading or any other 3-card, 5-card reading, helping you know where you're at, what's going on, bringing up to attention anything from, a lot of people have a lot of past life stuff going on. That's been coming up a lot. A lot of people have the thing I was talking about with the governor on their energy and the magic. We have the capacity to bilocate. We could literally think a thought, and if we believed it hard enough, we could go and just be in Paris instead of worrying about whether or not our car is going to work. When you're vibrating in a higher plane of dimension in the physical reality still, meaning you stay in connection with source more often than you're in connection with like the 3D world, which is like, I equate it to the world that you turn on. If you turn on the news, that's the 3D world. We all just have different problems. No one's problems in a higher frequency are better than someone's problems in a lower frequency. They're just different. Mostly what you have to worry about is thinking a thought that's of a lower vibration because they tend to manifest faster. It's like the story that I've been telling is I had a thought when I realized that this is what I needed to do was be really careful about my thoughts. My neighbor has a super yappy dog. And I had a thought of, I wish that someone would go tell those people that like sound ordinance, like go bring your dog to freaking training school. It's been 5 years. Like come the frick on. This dog barks no matter what. No kidding. 24 hours later, I go outside to go meditate under the full moon. It's after 10 o'clock. The dog gets let out. She's barking her head off. And in less than 5 minutes, the police are at the door, the neighbor's door, giving them, I don't know if they got a citation, but there were 2 police officers at their house because it was after 10. So sound ordinance says that they can't. So I had thought it in the middle of the day before. And within 24 hours, maybe a little more, within 48 for sure, it had manifested. So I realized, oh shoot, I'm still so used to vibrating at like a lower frequency that when I am Like instant manifesting, like my lower vibe thoughts happen quickly. So I better not think them. Let's focus our attention where your focus goes, energy flows, right? So focus on more audacious, bigger ideas. The universe is the limit. You could have so much more and so many crazy, wild, artistic, creative, insane ideas if you would just allow yourself to have the curiosity of a child. If you would just allow the innocence to come back into you and to stop feeling like you need to be perfect, like you're not already good enough right now. You deserve everything that you want in your life right now. You are healed right now from all the trauma and all the pain right now, if that's what you choose to be. But it has to be a choice. And how can you choose if you don't know your options? And you don't know your options when you immediately judge and shame different parts of you for even existing. If you judge yourself for being angry, if you judge yourself for being sad, if you judge yourself for being beautiful, if you judge yourself for being ugly. Everything I teach all of my clients has to do with whole life integration, whole self integration, being the wholeness of you, which means all the highs, all the lows, all the lefts, all the rights, all the ins, all the outs, all the shadows, all the lights. That's what makes the game fun. That's what makes it fun. Having no stakes because I know that I'm actually safe in the arms of God right now, playing out some weird, crazy, kinky ass fucking game. The vibration that I feel in my heart, I wish I could give it to every person on the planet. And the closest thing I have is these Bespoke Dragon Invocations. And the fact that you have access to them. And when you sign up for a live, if you get a live one, you get access to the Dragon's Vault. So there's a pre-recorded option. You get sent a survey at the end, like you get the pre-recorded, and then you get a survey at the end of your protocol that helps me, just because it is still like I'm case studying these. I'm writing several books and trying to work on the energy fields and really track all of the data. And or if you get the live version, then you get a real-time call with me. You get the access to the Dragon's Vault, which is over 30 hours of content. It's $10,000 value. It's all of my masterclasses and everything like that. You also get a 2-week check-in with me where I check in with you and see how you're doing and have another 30-minute or so chat. And then you have the survey that is sent to you as well. So you get all these things when you get, because I want to check up on. I don't want this to be a one and done thing. Having intense energy upgrades often cause massive shifts in other things. It's like when you have a clogged pipe and you finally like put the snake down the pipe, all of that shit has to go somewhere. So I'm not trying to just blow up your world and let you be. That's not the point. But I do want to blow up your world. I want you to see the absolute brilliance that I see when I look at every single one of you, when you jump onto these live streams and you comment on my things. I want you to have the passion and the pleasure and the purpose and the power of embodying the red dragon, of embodying the dark mother, of embodying the truth of Christ consciousness within every single cell of your being. And that is just to know who you are as a fractal of God, and to know what you are as an aspect of the Creator manifest in form. And to know how you serve, which is by singing your own unique song, by being you. Not having to fit in, not having to belong anywhere. You belong to you. You belong to me. You belong to God. You belong to the dragons. You're not alone. You're never alone. You're not late. You're not running behind. You're not missing anything. You are exactly, perfectly who you need to be right now. And you are where you need to be right now. And all that I am asking is for you to open your mind just a little bit to the idea that maybe, just maybe, your emotions are worth feeling, but they're not worth clinging on to. And that when you choose to vibrate at unconditional love, you have to attract unconditional love back to you. And when you live in service to your highest potential, and you do everything in service to the divine mission that you were meant to live, that is only uniquely yours, then your life does become a constant stream of miracles. Because you are weaving your own fate. You become an energetic Olympian, mastering the art of psychic alchemy, of emotional alchemy, of energetic alchemy. Turning water into wine, lead into gold, poison into medicine. All of those things are possible. All of them have been documented. And in this modern society, I am telling you, magic is real. And it's time for us to bring it back into the mainstream. Okay. I love you. This was way longer than intended, but that's what usually happens. I hope you have a beautiful night. Oh my gosh, the moon. You can't see it. Let me see if I can switch it. Guys, the moon is so pretty right now. There she is. There it is. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to go drink my water and sit in the moon for a little bit. I hope you guys have a beautiful night. I love you. Bye. Oh, if you want to book a Bespoke Dragon Invocation, I'll leave the link below. Okay, I love you. Bye.